Laynie and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, oh my goodness, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so very much. It means the world to me. Today we're going to talk about all things fragrance, and let's address the elephant in the room. I changed my hair color. I'm now purple. I use Arctic Fox for my vivid colors. They're so fun to play around with, so I decided to do a deep purple with some kind of like pinky purple ends. It's a color combo I haven't really tried yet, because why not? Life's short, it's so fun. I have an ever-growing fragrance collection, and it's gonna keep growing because there's always new things launched, and I am just curious by nature. It's like Pokemon. I gotta catch them all. So, with that said, I also am getting to a point where I'm really trying to curate my collection. I want it to be things I'm excited to reach for, things that I love. And if I don't love them and I'm not reaching for them, what's the point? If you love fragrance content, beauty content, and a little bit of lifestyle content sprinkled all in, then make sure you click the subscribe button, join the fam, you won't regret it. We really do have an amazing community here. I feel so lucky. All right, okay, I'm gonna stop jabbering. Let's get to it. The first fragrance I'm going to mention is Idle Nectar by Lancôme. This is not a bad fragrance at all. Honestly, none of these that I'm going to mention are bad fragrances. There's nothing wrong with them. They just haven't become loves. And it's funny how your nose changes, or how you can smell something in store and be like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. And then as you start wearing it, you're like, I don't know if this fits me. And that's kind of what happened with Idle Nectar. I honestly love the ooey gooey caramelly gourmandness that is in there. This is a dense, rich, syrupy fragrance, and it definitely drew me in with the very unique note of caramel popcorn. I couldn't resist. When I first smelled it in store, I didn't give it a wear. I just tested it, I think at like a Macy's or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love it, because I love sweet fragrances. And this is definitely a sweet one. But there's just something about it as I've been wearing it. It just doesn't quite feel like me. And I love, again, sweet. I love floral. I love gourmand. There's just something about this one that is just like, I just can't quite feel like myself, or like it's going to be my scent when I'm wearing it. It's like more something I would smell on somebody else walking by and be like, oh wow, you smell really good, what are you wearing? It just doesn't feel like me. And I think it might be the fact that it is so rose forward. I just go back and forth. I like, every once in a while, a rose fragrance really catches my attention, but a lot of other times, they're just not my favorite. I did get a compliment wearing this at work the other day, so it's definitely not a bad one. It just doesn't feel like me. So she is on the chopping block, but it's like I'm not quite ready to take the plunge and get rid of it just yet. The next one that I've considered going back and forth on with, do I love it? Do I need it? It's hard to pick sometimes, is the Sugarful by Michelle Germain. I believe it's the first one in the Sugarful line. It's the OG, it's the pink bottle, and oh my gosh, is the bottle not the cutest thing you have ever seen? I'm obsessed with the bottle. I grew up in the country, and we lived in an old farmhouse. My mom loved antiques, and we had an antique sugar bottle that looked just like this, but with clear glass. And I don't know, it just makes me feel so warm and cozy when I see these bottles. But outside of that, there's nothing in this one that screams like something I wouldn't love. Like, hold on. Okay, wild strawberry, tangerine, cotton candy, peony, musk, sandalwood. Love all of that. Cotton candy is one of my favorite notes, and I actually really want to do a cotton candy in my collection video very soon. I'm really debating. There's one more I want to add to my collection, but cotton candy is definitely one of my favorite notes. The only reason this one is on the chopping block for me is it just, when I wear it, I don't think it lasts very well. I need to wear it some more. Maybe in this weather it'll wear better. It's cooling down here in the Midwest. In the summer, it kind of just disappeared off of me. I don't mind the fragrance at all. I love the packaging. I love cotton candy. I love that this is a very sponge, sugary, light, airy fragrance. It's not dense and syrupy. This is very airy and just sugary, sweet air all around you. But it just doesn't last that well on me. I think, as well as, it's sort of a bit redundant, because if I was going to say in my collection something that kind of reminds me of this, it would be Burberry Her. Now, Burberry Her is more of a tart a little sharp version of this, but again, it's that like strawberry, sweet, sugary, sweet air around you effect, where the Sugarful is a lot more cotton candy in there than just the strawberry. But I feel like it is semi-redundant, and I'm like, if I'm gonna keep one, I would keep the Burberry Her. Another reason this one is on the chopping block is because the other two Sugarfuls I have blow my socks off. Sugarful and Spice is incredible. It's warm, cozy, super sugary, but not syrupy, not heavy. It is seriously one of my favorites in my collection. My spritzer is a little goofy, but other than that, I'm obsessed with it. And then the Sugarful Sunshine smells exactly like a pina colada. It smells so good in the warm, sunny months. Oh my gosh, love it. Those two have something a little bit unique going on in there. This one is just a little meh, in my opinion. Britney Spears Fantasy. If you guys have been here a long time, I'm sure you've heard me rave about the fact that Britney Spears Midnight Fantasy is one of my favorite scents ever. It's so dark, rich, sweet. It's like so fruity, but still a little sexy somehow. To me, Fantasy is more kind of playful daytime. And on me, it just kind of evaporates. I don't get a lot of it. I don't really get compliments when I'm wearing it. Now, when I'm wearing Midnight Fantasy, I get compliments, and I can smell it on myself. Like, it smells so good to me. I love sweet, generic fragrances. Don't get it twisted. But a lot of times, the real playful, sweet, fruity ones are so generic that you're kind of just like, meh, it's nothing special. I could get it anywhere. Anyone could smell like this. But Midnight Fantasy has something to me that is unique. Like, you stand out in a crowd. OG Fantasy, it's kind of generic to me. Now, I have a friend who says when she wears this, people are like practically knocking down her door to ask her what she's wearing. It works so well on her. And that is also something I love about fragrance, is things wear differently on different people. And I just don't think the OG Fantasy matches my vibe. But just like these other ones, there's just something about it I enjoy just enough that it's hard to get rid of. But I'm pretty certain this one is going. I have a friend whose daughter is hitting that teenage stage, and I think it would be a really great one for her to wear, and it's age appropriate. And who doesn't just love the Britney Spears packaging? It's so cute. I do think she would enjoy the fragrance and get use out of it, and it's not getting any use on my shelf. One that I was so sad didn't work out for me that I recently gave to my husband is Amber Fever by Mancera. When I saw these accords, I was like, oh my gosh, that is my cup of tea. It's so funny because I don't drink. Like, I literally don't drink. It's not my cup of tea. I tell everybody, if I'm gonna use the calories, I'd rather eat ice cream. Now, that is my cup of tea. But I love boozy fragrances when they're done right. And I saw that the accords of Amber Fever were woody, amber, caramel, whiskey, sweet, powdery, musky, rose, vanilla, nutty. I was like, oh, this is that girl. And it is a wonderful fragrance. I love this fragrance. It is very resinous, very, very amber forward, vanillic, a little bit nutty. Like, to me, like, it's just very slight nuttiness. This is just ever so lingering in the background. This one is heavy on the caramel and the booziness. I truly love the scent of this, but on me, it just did not fit my vibe. I'm slowly getting a little more into unisex fragrances. I'm pretty much a basic you-know-what. I love my feminine, playful, sexy, flirty fragrances. That's what I just feel like matches my vibe. Hello, pink is my favorite color. But this one was unisex, leaning masculine. I mean, just like 2 steps into masculine. A woman whose favorite outfit is like ankle length, skinny dress pants with a nice blouse and a little blazer over top, some very sexy edgy heels, and she like runs the workplace. Like, this matches that vibe, but that is not my vibe, as you could tell. It was wearing me, I wasn't wearing it. Like, it just didn't feel right. I didn't feel super comfortable and confident in it. Like I said, I recently gifted it to my husband, and now that fall is here, oh my gosh, amazing on him. Top 10, hands down, favorite fragrance he's ever worn. And then Dark Cherry and Amber by Banana Republic. This is one of those, I think I found it at Ross, I believe. It was one of those impulse buys when you're going through the discount stores. And this really does smell very good. In here we have notes of sour cherry, freesia, cherry blossom, praline. I love that note. Amber, one of my favorites, and cedar. Honestly, this is a lovely fragrance. It's one of those that I like to describe as like a crystal glass around you. It's just that soft crystal cloud of fragrance around you. It's not dense, it's not syrupy, it's not heavy. And the only reason it is on the chopping block for me is because of the fact that in the dry down, it is like a semi-tart cherry Baccarat dupe. Definitely was inspired by Baccarat, no doubt about it, which is kind of funny because the notes really don't line up a lot, but the praline, the amber, like I can see it. And I think it's again because it makes that crystal, airy, glass-like scent bubble, and that's very much what Baccarat does. I'm getting so many Baccarat dupes inspired bys in my collection. It's a little out of hand. That and Love Don't Be Shy inspired bys. I went a little crazy in my collection. I love the profile of Baccarat, I really do. But it's getting too much in my collection, and that's why I'm pretty positive I'm going to let this one go. I have two others from Banana Republic. The tobacco one in the purple bottle and the white one. Love those. I feel like those are a bit more unique in my collection. They're not going anywhere, but this one, as much as I enjoy it, I'm just like, let somebody else have it who will use it because you got too many that smell like this. You can only wear so many Baccarat inspired fragrances in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year, in a lifetime, because I have so many fragrances, it's going to take me my lifetime to use them up. For real, for real. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed hearing about some that are on the chopping block. Like I said, I really want to curate my collection. I want to only have things that I love reaching for, that I can't get enough of. Let me know which ones are you not loving right now in your collection, or which fragrances are you absolutely obsessed with? Are you picking anything up at the VIB sale, which is coming up, I believe, at the end of this month, early next month? Let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys, and I know everybody else in our community does here as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.